pre-show. We're talking over points that we want to discuss. You saved that one. You kept that one secret. Did you want to see what my reaction was going to be?
Absolutely, 100%. That's an incredible stat. We've had 9 lands, and the 9 champs have gone 3-0 in pools. Does that stick this weekend? It's going to be interesting to see if that's the case. As we hop on board here with Shopify and LVT.
LVT Halo did take down SSG. Ended up as a 3-way tie, 2-1. 2-1 record for SSG, for Navi, for LVT, but because of game wins, LVT still ended up 3rd in pools. Hopefully with some momentum, though, as they face Rebellion in a tough matchup. Starting off on Recharge King in the Hill, where hill number 1 is pretty dicey so far.
Yeah, Shock Rifle and the first bit of time going towards Shopify Rebellion, but after 3 go down, LVT are able to regain control of that hill and the lead.
Map position is going to be so crucial for this first hill, and C platform is going to be the primary rotation, which right now Rebellion are holding onto. Sab does trade with Rayne there in long haul as Mental rotates over to that C plat. Cykul is the one getting time on the hill. It's on to LVT right now to make that breakthrough.
All 4 up for each side. You have to imagine some action's about to ensue here as Diagram goes down. Huge kill there from Cykul defending his turf. Love this little switch in and out. Look at that. Cykul was the hill bearer. Rayne dropped in to get some hill time, and then Cykul and now Rayne drop out with the help of RyaNoob, but 3 go down. Unbelievable, despite what looked like a well-played process from Shopify. LVT get the numbers advantage and get back in the hill.
Piggy did great, stalling just long enough for his shield to come back before hopping on that hill, and without that 2-second hesitation, that 2-second pause, he would have gotten taken down on his way to the hill. So patience paying off here for Piggy as he nearly gets enough time to tie up hill number 1. Already a minute of game time has elapsed.
Piggy, last player alive, had that plasma pistol charged up. You have to wonder if that audio cue gave up his location, as he does in fact go down alongside his duo KingJay. Numbers advantage here for Shopify as they look to put the finishing touches on this first hill.
Pretty incredible that winners round 1 is 2 open bracket teams facing off. Something that's almost unprecedented. Part of it has to do with the changes to how pool play translates into that championship bracket. No teams eliminated through pool play, and only the 4th place in each pool in that losers round number 1 winning spot in pool play has a little bit of an extra boost because they get a bye for round 1. They're just watching the competition to see what they're up against.
Yeah, and it was an interesting spot for LVT as Shopify are able to put that first hill on the board. LVT bouncing back at the 50% mark. And LVT also having to almost bounce back from an odd situation where they win that game 5. They ice up against SSG, the defending champ, and get 3rd place to show for it. It's a mental battle in its own right, because I'm sure as a player, you feel like you probably deserve first.
It's a tough spot for LVT to be in, but they did take down the number 1 seeded team, and that in and of itself shows that these open bracket teams have the capability to give anyone a fight and force some upsets, hopefully here in the champ bracket as well. I know that on the observer mode here, we are missing, who are we missing here on the side of Rebellion? Cykul.
A key member of the team, because we can't play 3v4, as it looks like we have had a player lag out. Yeah, must have been a crash. Unfortunate there, but fortunate in the sense that it happened right after LVT Halo scored. It's going to be one of those rare instances where the reset is actually going to be played pretty fairly. No team had any time on that 3rd hill. 1-1. We're going to get probably just a clean free reset.
Well, we'll let you. We'll give you an update once we have that. But in a parallel matchup, it's Native White versus Native Red. We've seen this time and time again throughout the season. The 2 sides of the Native Gaming organization forced to go head-to-head, and this is also that winners round 1. As you can see, we're already in game number 2, and game number 1 was an upset. Native White was the team from open bracket, upsetting that, I want to say, 6-seeded Native Red.
Ooh, all right, in this Civil War matchup between 2 teams from Native Gaming, Native White, like you said, the underdog, making that Cinderella run to top 4. Who knows? They did it earlier in the year at Charlotte. Could very well find themselves back in the top 4. What a way to secure your world championship spot if you're Native White, to get top 4 from the open bracket. You know they're capable, though.
Would love to see them run it right back and kind of be the bookends of this season, right? Starting off as Charlotte and then capping off with the last major of the year. Let's see what they can do up against, you know, their own brothers here on the side of Native Red. Currently a 6-point lead for Native White, and tapping buttons. I've said this before, I'll say it again. when Tapping Buttons is on fire, he is unstoppable. Currently at 7 and 5, but also with 4 assists. So part of 11 slays, more than half of the team slays have been credited to Tapping Buttons.
Yeah, Tapping Buttons, a great pickup from McWin, a part of that international original duo with him and Barcode. And I gotta say, on the side of Native Red, suppressed. A great pickup, not having a stellar start here in this game. About 4 and 5, -1, but I still think Suppressed was one of the best pickups that we've seen as of late. Another one of those players alongside the likes of Falcated that are starting to sneak into that top 10 statistical category when it comes to things like kills and damage.
You know, it's been fun to talk about the stories of the teams, but you can't leave out the stories of individual players and their movement from roster to roster, their growth throughout the season. And I feel like we have so much that we can discuss, that we can cover, because we just have so much more context to work off of. And it really just makes this tournament feel a lot more like, it has a sense of like fullness to it, because there are more storylines that are going to be applicable right here, right now.
1-0 lead in the series for Native White and a 7-kill lead here in Game 2 for them as we hop on board here with Tapping Buttons. Looking to tap the face of Manny here as he's got the sniper in his hands. Doesn't like the first shot advantage that Manny put on his shields as he repositions, re-shields, and look at a little tango going on. Oh, odd placed 1v1 between himself and Manny.
Look at Tolek though. Tolek might flank left here.
That's on the comms.
Tapping Buttons has some intel as he immediately rotates. It wasn't my call out giving him that information. He's hearing something.
Oh!
And him saving that snipe was for this moment. He hit the perfect headshot, and it took time. It took re-scoping multiple times to find the shot that he wanted.
Tapping Buttons, the king of the tower, holding down the seaside of Solitude. Wow, what a patient play there on Manny. We talked about how it's kind of a cheeky little 1v1. I peek you, you peek me, and then Tapping Button says, you peek me one more time, and I'm going to take your face.
One peek too many from Manny, and he pays for it with his life. Now, out of seemingly nowhere, a 10-point lead for Native White. Tapping Buttons is not stopping just yet. He might be out of sniper, but that BR is still going to get the job done as he locks in the killing spree.
Oh, dealing with the repulsor edge that Tolek had too in his hands. My goodness, Tapping Buttons putting on a performance here in Game 2. And wow, little bro looking like big bro, huh?
You know, sometimes Luigi's going to have to jump over Mario. It's just, it has to happen. Sometimes big bro might be, I might have picked on you a little bit too hard. Look how strong you've gotten from all that bullying childhood. We're right back in the main matchup that we want to keep our eyes on as KingJay secures the double kill. We did have an unfortunate reset. It was Cykul that got disconnected, but looks like all 8 players back in this lobby. Assuming a 1-1 tie? So playing to 3?
Yeah, that's the question. Do the admins tell these guys to play to 3, or do they just tell them to play the whole reset? I kind of hope they reset it because, again, I think it was actually one of the rare instances where you have a fair reset. Like we said, LVT and Shopify had just tied that match at 1, so no worse for the wear if we do have a full reset. But nonetheless, there is no advantage, we know, to either team as we have this reset start up now.
We'll watch how things kind of transpire, especially in the late stages of the game. It may be a moot point, especially if the clock becomes a factor as well. But we'll keep our eyes out on what's happening right now. Shopify Rebellion looking a little bit deja vu, right? They captured that first hill. Looks like they're primed for a repeat of what we saw.
Sab looking to sneak his way into that hill location. Has a couple frag grenades to work with, and he replenishes with an extra 2 with the frag grenade to spawn there. Not able to get any damage, though. Instead, he gives his intel away, his location away, to the likes of Rayne, who spots him, but relocates to Blue 1 and goes down instead 2v2 for now.
Shock rifle in the hands of Cykul as he runs around the corner to get that reload, but it's Sab who catches the back of RyaNoob. There's the shock rifle at Needles. Sab tries to hit it with a plasma grenade. He has to back off, charging up that plasma pistol. Going to get a little clamber here, but it keeps that full charge. It is going to make a lot of noise, though. So assuming the venue doesn't round it out, that's going to be a giveaway of where he is as the last alive for LVT.
Yeah, Shopify edging their way to a potential first hill on the board as they look primed to do just that. Great job. Did you see that Sab was the last player alive? And he goes down staggered, a good 5, 6, maybe even 7 seconds after that core group of 3 go down. Sab goes down. That's going to lead to a staggered spawn again for LVT, still dealing with 2 down, and that will, in fact, lead to a score. 1-0.
Oh, no. Oh, Diagram rounds that corner. Quick adjustment, but RyaNoob connects on that plasma grenade to end up as a trade, but I was worried Diagram might find a smack in the back there as he didn't quite check his corners on that play. Leave it to RyaNoob to find a cheeky corner to hide in.
Mental with the high ground in this scenario, so too does Rayne, but they don't have the shield advantage. KingJay takes advantage of that. He goes down shortly after. That's going to ultimately amount to a trade. Again, a 2v2 sequence in this match. It's almost like one of the side tournaments going on right now in Halo 5.
Oh, Piggy tries to hit 2 of the plasma grenades, but neither one's going to connect, so it's Mental who wins out this key position when it comes to hill number 2. Sab quick to execute Retribution, and now LVT have numbers. They have a little bit of map control if Sab can stay alive. Piggy does find a kill off screen. Sab has to double back, but watch out, he's got repulsors to work with too. He could send somebody, if they baits them down to low ground, he can send them off the map.
Pretty even after 2 minutes in regulation, go off the clock. -5 for LVT, so really only now 4, now only 1 team wipe advantage for Shopify. That tells me that they're playing objectively efficient, which again isn't surprising for this squad. Probably one of the most strategic-oriented teams here in the HCS as we see RyaNoob and KingJay off the map.
Can't swim as a Spartan. The armor is too heavy as multiple players falling off the map are going to meet their death. Sab might be coming back for revenge. He wasn't able to utilize that repulsor, but it was used against LVT instead. So we don't see a lot of time won on this kill yet. It's going to come down to this next round of slays, which Shopify Rebellion are still keeping the upper hand in numbers.
Mental and RyaNoob working on that bait and switch activity there on the tower side. Mental eventually goes down, but not before taking down one himself. 4v4 here now, as Shopify has half on the board. Piggy, this is the spear in the arrow. This is the guy that you really want to break through. He's the 1 split from the 3. Now KingJay coming to help. They have numbers advantage. KingJay has the help on Piggy, but his duo goes down. Can KingJay clean up some of these weak members of Shopify Rebellion? Can Sab do it? Yes, KingJay gets this cleanup. Sab should get the second, and this is leading to a potential tie here on this hill. But that life being sustained here for Shopify going to make it a little bit trickier for LVT to start to acquire some hill time. They're still not in the hill.
Diagram was able to flush out 1 player, wins over the shock rifle. He has damage dealt, and the assist comes through as Cykul goes down. Diagram out in the middle of the map, out in the open, off screen. KingJay gets the double kill. Diagram still has some time to work with that shock rifle, but he's not playing it from long range. He's playing it up close and personal, and he has to thread the needle. He might get some chain damage on 2 players in the bottom of the tower if he hits the right shot.
I like the weapon prioritization here from Mental, knowing that he has teammates pushing in. He's going to be using that commando to try to get some DP down, but that plan is going to get foiled like a race day 1 team against Crota. 3 go down for Shopify Rebellion. LVT with the edge here on the second hill.
And what happened in that round of slays for LVT, it was the team fire again. You can see the diagram now with 10 assists is leading the way. But the team fire, kills assist, kill assist, going across the screen as they had that combined force. Is it enough for them to tie up the game like we saw before the reset? Nobody on the hill currently. And it's about a 50-50 for map control.
And look at the time. 1:17 left on the clock. We are at a 1-0 in this game, and there might be less than a minute left before another team scores. This means LVT has to tie it right here. This is it.
And Sab is the last alive. You see him playing aggressively with his life. If he can hit that plasma, but there are 2 players approaching, he loses that 1v1. Did he stall long enough, though, to buy some rotation from the teammates? No, Shopify Rebellion, they're cutting off this push from both sides, and they look like they're playing for time on hill number 2.
Yeah, nothing is by chance with Shopify. Like I said, this is the most strategical-oriented team in the HCS, and I feel like I say that, and people probably think like, well, dude, every team works on their strats and their scrims and everything else that you mentioned, but there's just something different about Shopify Rebellion and the effort they make to make the right play call and execute on it in the moment. Gotta give a shout out to the coach, Best Man, an OG, former Halo 2, Halo 3 pro, a legend in the scene. A big reason why the Shopify Rebellion roster is so coordinated.
15 seconds on the clock, and that coordination leads to a double kill for Cykul. LVT have 1 last approach. I don't think they can even make it in time to the hill. I think that Rebellion, they milked how many minutes with the time on kill number 2. It was enough for the win. An unprecedented, one of the lowest scoring King of the Hill recharge games we have ever seen.
Yeah, that you want to talk about nerding your way to a victory?
Yeah.
That's what we just saw there from Shopify. If you're just tuning in, you saw the series layout at a glance, you'd see that 1-0 and be like, oh, they played Argyle CTF game 1. No, that was a King of the Hill match that only featured one hill captured. Unprecedented what we just saw from Shopify Rebellion, and you know what? They come into these tournaments and matches again with a specific strategy, and when they can execute on it, that's when they get top 6. That's when they get into the top 4 or even 5. So if Shopify are able to make the right play calls and execute on them, those cheeky play calls especially, this is what you're going to get. 1-0 victories, but it doesn't matter if it's a 4-0, 1-0. It's 1-0 on the series board. That's what matters most.
Listen, Mikowski, you had Faded Friday yesterday. I'm going to have some Shake-Up Saturday today. Because Optic will go ahead in that series 2-0. Meanwhile, we're continuing into game 2. Shopify Rebellion with that 1-0 King of the Hill victory in game number 1 gives them a step up. And my charge, my plea for LVT was for them to start out strong and fast and aggressive. Piggy in the kill feed gets the ninja onto Rayne just as Sab hits the melee kill. We saw some of that last night.
Well, think about this, Magic. Think back to that hour ago, that game 5 against SSG. What was it? It was the hot start. And if anything, LVT would not have won that game 5 if not for the hot start, because SSG came on strong at the end, dwindling that 8-kill, 9-kill lead at one point to just 2. So for LVT Halo, they've got to follow that rule, that win condition for them. Start early, start hot. Had a black screen, but that's just bait. We're back.
I'm glad you were talking at that moment. I was going to start panicking. It looks like they were just adjusting the audio because it was like about a second behind, and now back in sync. Worth it. Worth it for the nerves of the black screen. KingJay sets up a kill for his teammate, picks up that QT. Maybe he can pull off a lose level play, as right now Shopify Rebellion has snuck back the lead, ties it back up with Sab finding the kill.
10-10. Right at 10. That's not a part of the win condition that we put out for LVT.
Oh, RyaNoob has the QT. Didn't KingJay just have it?
Yeah, I thought he... Interesting. KingJay didn't pop it. Didn't like what he saw. Didn't like where he was, most importantly, with that QT. Goes down, and you let a guy like RyaNoob nerd around with it. He might make you pay with the QT, despite the fact that it's not as OP as maybe we thought when we read the patch notes when it initially came out, and RyaNoob goes down with that QT. Once again, LVT now with the narrow 1-kill lead.
I loved Sab POV there. You could see him eyeing the portal. You could see him waiting for the comms. The second RyaNoob used that QT, activated the teleporter, Sab was ready, and a little repulsor in there to show, hey, this piece of equipment is still going to win out.
Yeah, repulsor 1v1. Those are rare to see, as Sab says, I got one for you too. Sends his opponent back to the respawn screen, back physically on the map as well. As now LVT Halo, that's where they want to be. Get that 1 possession, get that 5th kill, get that 5-kill lead, make it a 2-possession game going into the 30s. As we know Shopify, they can come back. They are a dangerous team to come back. They can take this from you, but we know they like to play from ahead. So for LVT, even just having this narrow 2-kill lead is much better than where they were previously at this time in game 1.
Oh, and they might get to double down on it. KingJay to 1v2, he comes out with a trade, but across the map, Diagram is the player that has C control with sniper spawning in just 2 seconds. It might actually be Sab that rotates over for that S7. We'll keep our eyes out on the feed, but certainly LVT with the map position they want at the time that they want. Rayne takes out Diagram, trying to break through, and look, Piggy is solo. His other teammates are across the map, and he's caught out in the middle of the low ground.
We've seen shots go underneath the truck. We've seen grenades go underneath the truck, as we're starting to see that angle be more popularized, especially as more players play that back left angle of Cafe to work as a highway route to C.
Yeah, I'm seeing that corner utilized more than ever before. Usually it would be like window versus tower, and now it looks like instead of kitty corner, they're going to the adjacent corner. I'm sorry, geometry terms, I can't help it. I taught it for one year, and it stayed in my head. Piggy rushes in. I actually hate a trade in that situation because the opponent had no shield, so Piggy should have found a way to find a clean kill without having to get traded out. 4 go down for Rebellion, though. LVT now with that 5-point lead reestablished.
And just as LVT start to get some good juju going, Sab with that snipe. I don't think he had a shot left, though. I think that last shot that rang out was the last shot, because I didn't see a sniper drop, so that's big. Shopify could use that to come back down 4, but I think Sab depleted all of those resources. That's a heads-up play.
A great bounce back here, though, from Rebellion, cutting this lead to just 1. Diagram finds a kill. Diagram as the last alive for the team, really making the most out of it as he's fighting kill after kill. Can we talk about Diagram and his performance this weekend? Started off today a little bit cold, but ever since then he has been on fire.
Since 10 a.m. this morning, we have been hearing roars from the feature stations from Diagram.
Yes.
He's been the sort of like the Spartan, right? That unquestioned, passionate leader. You might say, I'd say KingJay is probably the captain of this team. He's the longest standing member of this squad, of this roster, alongside his duo Piggy. But I don't know, something about reminds me a little bit about Sparty, just like that natural energy that comes out when you hear your teammate, oh, and you just know they did something. And you don't know what it is, but you know they did something that helped the cause. It makes you want to start putting your weight towards that cause as well. And I think that's what we're seeing from LVT. Diagram providing that boost.
I definitely feel like Diagram is an emotional player, for better or for worse. And ever since he woke up today, he has been performing at the top of his level, the best he has ever played. Let's see if he can keep it going. KingJay with a plasma pistol, and now again a 9-point lead. Wasn't it 32-31?
Yeah, it was just.
I'm sorry, 31-32, I believe.
Yeah, going into the 30s, this thing was deadlocked. LVT as of late, and it was actually Piggy did trade out at that moment where he had full shields, but all 4 went down for Shopify. So maybe not the best individual effort there by Piggy, but Halo's a team game. His teammates picked him up, took all 4 down for Shopify, and started to build on that lead. Now up big as they head into the 40s. Shopify stuck at 34.
And maybe he was just the sacrificial lamb or the sacrificial pig in this instance. He goes down, but his team rises because of his sacrifice. It says enough to make you emotional as we start to round out this game. LVT now 8-point lead. They need only 4 more. 1 round of Slave will do it to tie up the series.
And we're seeing a lot of what we saw last game from Shopify Rebellion, trade-outs. But the difference is in this game, they do not have that lead that they were able to narrowly take. 1 hill was all they needed in game 1. We're able to keep it close going into the 30s, but as soon as LVT broke away, Shopify's strategy of trading out, not good enough.
Couple of slays though for Rebellion. They find 2 unanswered slays. If they can single out Sab and KingJay, they would be right back in this match. But KingJay's holding his own, just dealing out damage to keep the opposition oppressed, suppressed, while he waits for his teammates to get back in the fight. Piggy leaves RyaNoob low, but there's no one there to clean up the rest of that kill. With the use of the thruster, RyaNoob takes very little damage from that grenade. The pinch is on. 3-point game going into the final moments.
All right, Shopify went from trading out like they were playing in game 1 to recognizing they can't trade out. They need to play clean, almost perfect Halo as they've dwindled this lead down to 3.
But look at who's slowing the game down now. Rebellion put the full stop in game number 1 with a 1-0 lead, and now LVT are the team to push on the brakes. They only have a 3-point advantage, but they want to force Rebellion out of their comfort zone. They want to make Rebellion play aggressive.
Yeah, and they want to make Rebellion push into the arguably weaker side of the map on the A side, and that's exactly what they're doing. Daring them to push through the cafe as RyaNoob sets his sights on the charge. Rayne gets that opening great kill. This lead is getting very, very dangerous here for LVT as they're only up 2. Mental with the potential there to make it a 1-kill game, but he's going to escape with his life instead. Let Rayne pick it up, 46-48.
Mental didn't have any grenades to push that fight. Stays at the 2-point lead, 47-49. We saw this before in a game 5 against SSG, this exact score line. And LVT were able to find the final kill.
Wow.
Although there were some shaking hands because of the adrenaline in that situation.
KingJay looking to lead his team to a comeback victory here in game 2. I should say a comeback in the series because LVT has been tied in this game or up for the majority of the end game. Now up by 2, needing just 1. Rayne looking to work his way through that alley side up the map, and with RyaNoob on the bait and switch, takes down Piggy. And look at this, everybody from Shopify satisfied with that 1 kill to make it a 1-kill game. Dips back, which is interesting. They didn't take that break kill and use it to collapse. Instead, they reset for that sniper. All part again of the strategy, the timing. I guarantee you that's best man. Sniper's up soon. Retreat for sniper.
KingJay's about to get flanked.
And that
he
is
grenaded himself off the ledge.
Oh no! Oh my God! No! 49 all, but
What happened?
Oh my God! 50-50 tie! There's no way we witnessed 2 ties this season together, Magic. Oh my God, we're going to a Game 3, Game 2.
Oh my gosh! Wow! A 50-50 tie off of a melee trade as both teams hit 50 at the same exact instance. And we need to fully reset. LVT had the lead throughout that game, but in the final moments, their slowdown was what cost them the game.
Yeah, that's
well,
gonna...
not the game, cost them the tie.
Well, you could argue, yeah, the game, because they should have won. So, yeah, this...
Look at this grenade.
I thought it was going to bounce out. That was the geometry there. It bounced back left.
Wait, hold on, production. Isn't this our team? Why are you replaying that? Why are you replaying KingJay? No, not again, man.
I'm actually really curious, though. This is important. Oh, there is that little jump. Look at the angle of it. It does kind of tickle back out into the left. You really got to hit. See that shadow right there to the right of the white line? You have to throw that grenade to the right of it if you want to get it to filter out to the outside of the cafe. Instead, that grenade lands to the left of the white line. The shadow in the line in the sand, the line in the wall.
Wow.
Shopify cross over it to tie, but
and Piggy, Rayne are the trade at the very end.
It shows up as a tie in the series score or series layout,
Ooh.
but it feels like a win for Shopify because of how big they were down at the end. LVT, you could argue, weren't able to ice up there, and now we're going to have to essentially win twice against Shopify Rebellion. It's already hard enough to win one. Now you're going to do it again.
KingJay, I love you, but you're throwing. Like, come on, KingJay. You had given him, in the previous SSG matchup, right, he had the sniper in his hands, had the game-winning kill in his hands. And this is the same situation. You could argue that if someone's going to ice up and find that final kill for LVT, give it to the IGL, give it to the team captain, give it to KingJay, and that wasn't his moment. But they have another shot at it. It wasn't an L moment. It was just took away the W.
If that plane of geometry is symmetrical and perfectly aligned, that grenade does go out to the right.
In Halo Infinite?
Yeah.
In this economy?
If it's like an Argyle. If it's like Argyle. Think of Argyle. Very symmetrical. All the lines. It's like a perfect geometry.
Maybe that's why I like it.
If we were on Argyle, that grenade hits. But we're not. We're on Solitude. You got to play the cards you're dealt. You got to play the map you're on, I guess. As KingJay not able to land the grenades he wanted to. Because of it, takes some self-inflicted damage, self-inflicted team wound for the likes of LVT, who were not able to take advantage of a 6 or so lead, 5-6 kill lead.
Yeah.
It was bigger than that even, going into the 40s. I think it was 42-34 at one point, so 9 kills. I mean, it's really hard to imagine how Shopify were able to come back, and although they didn't get the win, still tied it and have a chance to win the reset. So I don't know where this goes. This really feels like a close series. It was a 1-0 recharge King of the Hill. Now we have a 50-50 on Solitude. Makes sense, though. Our only winners round 1 matchup featuring 2 open bracket teams is what you get.
I'm going to add an element here, right? You're talking about coaches earlier. This is a coaching moment.
Yeah.
Because both teams coming off of a tie. You're right, wiping the slate clean. You're resetting. Did you learn anything about yourselves or the opposition that you can capitalize on?
It was LVT. Earlier in this very tournament, granted it was, I believe, King of the Hill on Solitude, where they had like 2 or 3 resets. And then on the opening break, Diagram or Piggy got a ninja, well, that wasn't even a ninja, but it just provided the juice that they needed to reset and regain. So I'm looking to see the exact same thing from LVT. They've been in this exact same spot on this exact same map, needing to come back after an unfortunate reset, whether it's self-inflicted or a game crash, doesn't matter in the sense that we have a reset nonetheless, a tie in our previous matchup in Game 2 between Shopify and LVT as we reset Shopify with the early 6-4 lead.
And in that instance, which was the final series of the open bracket, which ultimately led to the 3-0 win for LVT to qualify for pool play versus Ascending Baseline. I believe it was. Yeah, Ascending Baseline. It was the last match of the day. Sorry, guys. This was like last night, 11 o'clock at night. But in that reset, I'm going to say the same thing as what I was saying behind the stage then, was that the best competitors will rise to the adversity. This isn't the ideal situation. That's easy. Wipe that from your mind, come back out, and make some lemonade out of lemon.
Yeah. And LVT doing a good job. This is a lot like what it looked like at the very beginning of the previous Game 2. Very close at the start. It wasn't until about the 30s that we saw LVT break away, but knowing how cheeky and nerdy Shopify like to play this map, if they get even a 3-kill edge at the 20-kill mark, it feels like they could trade and manipulate and nerd their way to another victory. So watch out for that.
Well, it's on pace for Rebellion right now. They have that full team wipe advantage, that 4-point lead. Rayne holding the top of Sniper Tower. KingJay is down below, just dropped down, but Rayne's not going to be able to chase after that kill. Instead, it's Mental who finds the shot to take down KingJay. And this is part of what makes this spot in the map so strong, is the approaches to C around the open exposed. Crossfire will take you down.
Shopify looking much better off the reset at this point than they did previously. I believe it was LVT getting that first 4-kill lead in the game. I think that's one of those check marks. I always talk about the process and playing it correctly, making sure that you're not skipping a step, you're going 1, 2, 3. I think that's a big part of it, is finding a way to get that first 4-kill lead of the game, making it a potential 2-possession game when you get that 5th kill lead. So I think that's a big win condition here for Shopify to go up by 8. So they get a 2-possession lead early in this game. This is getting out of reach, you could even argue, for LVT if they don't start coming back soon.
A little bit risky here for LVT as Sab tries to win a fight from low ground. He has the help across the map, that line of fire that you've been talking about, working lately to try to shoot out across towards C Tower, but 7 points is the difference. Mental fights back, he wins back his high ground. KingJay is left scrambling. One thing I wanted to see in the early stages is KingJay checked after that unfortunate ending, and no, he's the one.
Wow.
He has as many slays as the rest of the team combined right now.
Yeah. KingJay playing as the captain should. You could argue he's got 7 deaths, but that's right there with everybody else. So he is unquestionably leading his team here. He's going to lead him back into this match. Mental with the sniper in his hands. Doesn't have it on a favorable side. Probably one of the least likely sides to have sniper. You see it on Cafe, you see it on top C, but here we have the sniper back A. What can Mental do with it?
KingJay uses the QT to aggress and double melee for the kill. QT's right on out of there in order to preserve his life. It was just moments ago a 10-point game. And now a little bit of bounce back for LVT, stopping Rebellion right before that 30-point threshold.
7-kill game, still within reach. QT out.
Oh no.
Sab, recognizing the low shields there from RyaNoob, just gives him a shot to the body to take him down. Lining up another shot, but that's actually good reference there. See how that reticle lined up on the back of Piggy's head? He's going to use that as a reference point, a visual marker, if you will, to potentially line up another headshot as he does just that with the BR on Rayne.
Yeah, something you can learn from SWAT or Tactical Slayer, whatever you want to call it, is how to line up those headshots. Where on this map can I line up that scope? Look at the bounce back from LVT. Sab still holding on to the sniper. 3 points down from what was a 10-point deficit. And better now than late. They don't have to go full rush mode. They don't have to go full panic.
This is the player you want with the sniper in his hands at this moment. I know we saw KingJay with it in that previous series against SSG, but I'm going to argue that Sab is sniper #1 for LVT. There's not a better guy you could have with that power weapon in his hands. Down 3, going to come back.
Sab is one of the most cool, composed players. Maybe the most on the side of LVT. As they
that nade's dirty!
That nade's gonna shake up some damage, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 1-point game.
God, that's so satisfying as a player when you're baiting in those two. They're sliding into an impending fragmentation doom. As we see that well-timed frag grenade take down 2 from Shopify and gives LVT that, oh no, we're tied at 33, and that's fitting.
Tie game 33 apiece. Mental 1 HP has to drop to low ground to avoid that frag. Piggy's gonna take advantage. Piggy does get traded back out. Now the lead for LVT Halo. It is an absolute brawl out here on Solitude.
It's observer roulette. Everybody we switch to is going down in the feed. Sab though, could it be the difference maker? Looking to be the difference.
No, it's bait.
Alive. The bait and switch is on. 2 players to the cost of 1. You cannot lose a life here for LVT. Not only do you not lose a life, you get that +1, but the teammate spawns with you because of that kill. Massive play there from LVT.
LVT is stabilizing. LVT with now a 1-point lead. What a comeback from being down by double digits to now this end game, which is very reminiscent of where we were before the reset. We can't get another tie. We can't.
You know me too well, Magic. I was going to say the same thing just now. There's no way we tied 2. It's improbable to even see 1 tie. I feel like it's insane that we saw 2 ties this season, but we're looking at a potential tie in back-to-back games here. That's how close these 2 open bracket teams are.
Sab has lost control of that sniper. LVT has lost control of the lead.
Oh.
Rayne finds the back smack. It makes it look so easy to double up on their advantage. Rayne is just being the bait for Sab, and Sab took the bait. The flank play is in. Shopify Rebellion plays a perfect process as 4 go down for LVT.
And that was bait and switch versus bait and switch. Cykul, though, gets the double kill, gets the better of that sequence, and now has his team on the brink of winning game 2, needing only 5.
Cykul caught out in a 1v2, but he does enough damage to set up that assist, 47-41. And now as Mental finds another kill, LVT are the ones scrambling. They need to save every life. They can't give up any damage. They have to play so safe, so careful. Rayne finds a takedown on KingJay, and RyaNoob secures the last kill in a game that was primed for LVT to tie up the series. The tie comes through, and it's RyaNoob and the rest of Shopify Rebellion stealing back the match.
That one's tough, and I glanced at the time right before that sequence went down. There's 4+ minutes left. I think LVT still had a little bit of time to maybe pull a Shopify, crank down the pace, slow things down, maybe get possession of C-side, get the next sniper rifle, but instead they just, I can't necessarily argue against it. They went for it. I guess full send, sure, but I don't know. 4.5 minutes left against a team like Shopify. You know Shopify at 48-42, they're going to signal. They're going to signal with body language and positioning of themselves on the map that you guys got to come to us. So would have maybe liked to see a little bit more patience there with more time on the clock, but that's all she wrote. That's it. Game 2 over with. Game 3 live fire, and we set this up yesterday, Magic. LVT now needing a reverse sweep, but what better setup for that than a 20-minute live fire match? You want to get back on your steez. You want to find your form. This is the game to do it. Game 3, it's going to be a barn burner. I think it goes 3 rounds, so I do expect one of those classic 20+ minute oddball matches. A chance for LVT Halo to put a win on the board, to start feeling a little bit more confidence. I don't see that same energy that we saw when they were playing in full play, especially that you can almost see the swagger in their suits, their Spartan suits, playing against SSG. I don't see that same level of energy right now, and I think if they can get back to that, win this game 3, they got a chance.
They might need to pull a Emperor's New Groove and find their groove again, somehow, some way. I don't know, LVT, throw them out the window, whatever you gotta do to find your swagger, because it's kind of gotten stolen away. And I think the surprising thing is that this matchup is the series right after we upset SSG. Is this the same team?
And that almost brings in the conversation where all for naught, right? If you don't win winners round 1, and this is the case for any pool team that earns a spot in the winners bracket instead of lower round 1 or even getting knocked out of the tournament, you got to win that first series. You got to win that next series after pool play to compound on that success you had by winning your pool or getting 2nd or 3rd in your pool. This is a huge matchup here. I think, gosh, this feels like whichever of these two teams win this series, it's prime for that top 8 finish that locks you in for Worlds. So let's reshape the conversation back to what is most important here, which is getting top 8, stamping your ticket to Seattle, guaranteed outright, as we see Shopify and LVT vying for that space station, a team that's just about already locked in their spot at the Halo World Championship. I don't think that anything could knock them off via points. They would at least qualify through top 4 via points. G1 right now, a team that has that spot though, would qualify through top 4 in points, but G1 again, like everybody else here with the top 8 finish, they could just bypass the points and take it that way.
G1 is one of those teams ready to steal a top 8 placement, and Space Station Gaming trying to hold on to their crown. They won the championship at Salt Lake City, at their hometown. They have that 2-0 lead. We'll let you know when we see the outcome of that matchup. Looking pretty good right now for Space Station Gaming, and it's looking similarly going well for Shopify Rebellion. A 2-0, and Mikowski, I'll be honest, I feel a little deflated after that Solitude Slayer. Can you imagine for these players
You lost twice, so yeah,
how much of a struggle that is to see a game that is in your hand taken away?
Yeah, you lose in the sense that you tie that first reset, but you had that big lead, and then you lose the actual game too. So now you sit here at a 2-0, but I think this is where in competition, Magic, you got to have a short memory. You got to just put it behind you. You know you're capable. You just beat SSG in a Game 5. I believe that was historical as well. I think that's the first time we've seen an open bracket team defeat a defending champion in the HCS Halo Infinite Seasons 1 or 2. So LVT, let's see that same magic we saw against SSG.
I'm right here. LVT magic. Let's go. Let's go, LVT. Show us that magic. Show us what you got. Right now they have the oddball. They have the sniper. This is the way you want to start out strong.
Yes.
This is what you need on a bounce back. I wanted it in that Game 2 Slayer. Maybe they'll give it to us right here, right now. The series is not over. Yeah,
already feeling a little deflated is LVT. You could argue after a really tough series so far that they've been right in. And to stare at a 20-0, potentially 30-0, that's just, oh man, everything starts stacking up against you. But instead, they get that good start. But Shopify looking to answer right back and tie it. And if LVT's not careful, they can even take the lead.
For a minute there, the two scoreboards were 1-2-3-4 and 1-2-3-4 for kills. Exactly identical from side to side until now. A little bit of a shake-up as Rebellion shake up the scoreline of this game. They take the lead. Here comes the push. They're at the back. And he tosses the ball to Sab, who catches it as he's getting repulsed on the map.
That's something else. That's something else we haven't ever seen, I feel like, in Halo Infinite, as now's the time to get it out, right? It's the HCS playoffs, the HCS World Championship just a month away. Let's see what everybody's got. Why not? Everybody show their cards.
It's like a reverse hot potato situation, you know? Like, here you go, you can have this. And then also go for a swing. KingJay with the heat wave has 4 uses of a repulsor. He's gonna use 1.
Whoa.
Why was a plasma grenade? That wasn't his plasma. Was that a teammate's plasma grenade?
I think it was maybe Cykul's. I think Cykul was trying to take KingJay down.
He would have got return from sender.
Yeah, you're right. My goodness.
What is this game?
10 seconds, we've seen 2 things that are...
Again!
Oh my god, don't happen again, dude.
Everything's going off the map right now. Is this oddball or is this repulsor only?
This is getting slapstick silly. As we have a very serious game here. Very close. Shopify with just a 3-second lead.
Stop giggling. It's a serious matchup because you can't have fun while you're gushing. This is serious. 29-26. Rebellion are going to win out enough slays to pick up the ball off of that reset. Look at the split from LVT. Piggy rotating around to Turbine. Diagram rotating at top mid. Eyeing that heat wave, giving the information that he was going to be ready in about 15 seconds. KingJay has the sniper, taking the head off of RyaNoob. The push, the fight is going to go down once again at the back of B as Diagram's keeping a player held back at double doors. That ball does get played, but it took a second try for Rebellion to throw it off the map.
Yeah, that was a great push there from Piggy and Diagram, as you pointed out, Magic, and they weren't necessarily together. Piggy was on the OS, Diagram was top mid, but they were parallel on the map, pushing through at the same spot. So that is a recipe for success as the oddball sits precariously here at the bottom of screen door. And this one, just like the previous Slayer, is just about deadlock tied, 35-34. How close has this series been? You might just tune in and see the 2-0, but no. This has required many hard-fought sequences and battles to get to this point.
Oh, let's go. That OS was looking like the bait for both teams. A player from each side went down before Piggy ultimately came out with the OS. Oh, I love the repulsor jump by RyaNoob. He shot up the frags at the top of sandbags to take Piggy down.
He repulsed into a remote detonation. That's something else I feel like I've never seen before. What is this game?
Halo Infinite?
Okay, all right, now you're trolling.
I stay trolling. RyaNoob, repulsor, frag grenades, and teammate all pushing for the reset. It's Rayne who gets the takedown. Diagram waits for the perfect time to drop down through the vent, catches one player off guard, but Rebellion still had numbers. Expendable resources as one player goes down. They seem like they have maybe 5-6 players on their team. There's always somebody else from Shopify Rebellion to fill in.
It does feel like they're playing with extra numbers, doesn't it? And that is surprising that they haven't built an even bigger lead, despite from what looks like in the eye test a win for Shopify. LVT are keeping it close.
Pretty close on slaves from side to side as well. Here comes Sab rotating through that rat tunnel. Ends up in a little bit of a 1v1. Cykul using that pillar for cover. Cykul's gonna win out on that 1v1 because of that additional cover. Perfectly using his movement and the pillar to get the advantage.
And in a match where the Slays are dead even like they are, I believe now a +1 or 2 at most to Shopify Rebellion, this is where they edge you out with the strategy, with the objective efficiency. They can go toe for toe and be even in the kill-death ratio department and double up on the lead in these objective game types like Oddball. Again, another reason why this Shopify roster is so strong.
But right now, both the sniper and the overshield are spawning. Sab is going to get away with that sniper. Overshield is on Shopify Rebellion, so a split of those power-ups. Rayne takes down Diagram. I'm looking for Sab. Where is Sab? He's finding the kill. That's where he is.
Sniper going to be ever so important here for LVT Halo 2 control, and like RyaNoob is right now, it's kind of what I was thinking could be the strategy for LVT. Get a little sniper control with Sab, take it over to the sniper tower set up there as well, have an easy reset into the drink, but no, instead it's LVT, or excuse me, it's Shopify who's taking that exact strategy we just wrote out and taking it instead. Now they have the snipe, Oddball, and sniper tower control.
RyaNoob just baited himself, baited the Oddball, and Diagram as last alive had to try to force that 1v1, but RyaNoob stalled long enough for the help to come in. The cavalry arrived and the backup took down the kill. Now just 5 seconds left for Rebellion. Diagram does get his revenge. Wins over that last round of the sniper, but it's too little too late. He went after the revenge play while the Oddball was stolen.
That's one of my favorite plays to see teams make, to pull attention away from something like a flag, or in this case an Oddball, as you think you're getting a little sniper control, you think you're in that snipe tower control, but no, your focus and attention needs to be on bottom mid at the reset. Great job there. I think it was mental with the sniper at the end. Just keeping his life, being pesky behind the pillar, staying alive. That difference, that timing allows Shopify to take round 1.
LVT Halo, if you're going to bounce back in the series, it has to start right here, right now, with a mini reverse sweep in this best of 3, which is what Oddball is. They need to win back-to-back rounds, and then we'll see the rest of the conversation from there, but they've really left themselves not much room to work with.
A little too many overshields in the suits of Shopify Rebellion, as we might just see another one here in the hands momentarily for LVT, but no. It's going to go into the suit ultimately of Shopify Rebellion. Piggy, though, coming out the edge with that counter. Plasma pistol goes out, instantly takes down Cykul, but Cykul does a really good job there to trade as well.
A nice trade out of kills, 2 up for either side. RyaNoob receiving a lot of damage, and there's some team fire from LVT that we've been missing, to be honest. The kill count, you might say, is close, but the assist count is not close. Shopify Rebellion definitely have more coordinated pushes.
Yeah, and how impressive is this from Cykul? Most kills, most assists, almost least deaths. That is a young, up-and-coming superstar, putting in the performance to show why. He's probably going to lose that up-and-coming in front of his name. He is here. Cykul is here. He is one of the best players in the HCS, showing why in this game.
Up-and-coming has arrived now for Cykul. He's no longer the X Factor. He's no longer surprisingly good. He's just good. LVT went 4 down. Shopify Rebellion extending their lead. Rayne with the perfect frag. Securing the double kill. And he dropped that frag, walked away, just waited for the result.
That's flow state. If I'm playing at home, playing matchmaking, and I toss a grenade towards the dummy door based on a phantom call-out that I never get from my teammates in matchmaking, and I walk away and get the double, I mean, that is just one of those moments where you just feel like everything is working in your favor. It kind of looks like Shopify might be a team of destiny right now.
Shopify might be in flow state. Diagram had a flow state moment there too. He got a triple kill, which is what opened up a path for Piggy to get overshield. And we talked a lot about Diagram, especially in games 1 and 2. It's because of moments like that. We weren't on his POV, but you could see the impact of the plays that he was making. And now it's LVT starting to match some of these slays. Piggy now with a double kill of his own. That's going to give LVT the advantage. RyaNoob last alive. LVT, don't get
Oh my god, don't do it, RyaNoob. Don't do it. Don't do it, RyaNoob. Okay, I was about to say, if he is able to thwart that B green control all single-handedly by himself while everybody spawns out on the dummy door, my god, that would have been incredible. But despite what felt like a lead building for Shopify Rebellion, they were actually playing a little maybe objectively inefficient there. I'd be curious to check the kill-death ratio again, see if it's still at a +2 for Shopify, because I feel like it's more like a +6-7. But it's a +6-7 or so lead in the oddball time for LVT, so what a surprise here as RyaNoob looks to get back to that green location. Another repulsor off the wall, off the edge, mind the gap. 3 go down for LVT. That all ball gets reset, but it's going to be contested. Piggy gets a very fortunate spawn.
We need to come up with LVT bingo, where it's a bingo card of medals, and if they get it during a tournament, you cross it off, because everybody getting mind the gaps, everybody getting remote detonations. We're seeing a lot of spicy plays. Add a no-scope on top of it. Why not Cykul? Grabs the oddball, but drops the sniper as he's taken down.
That's huge. Sniper's down. Oddball's down too. So whichever team is able to grab this location, whichever team is able to win this position is going to get a 2-for-1. You're going to get the objective and the sniper to work with on that sniper tower side. OS up now.
RyaNoob's going to try to defend it, but he doesn't have much help. Does the repulsor stick with the plasma? I don't think it did. I don't know if he got the sticky. He switched POVs a little bit too quickly. Cykul is the one to win over that overshield. And you said this was the problem in round number 1. Rebellion just getting too many power-ups in their control.
Yeah, and there's Piggy again. There's Piggy again with the plasma pistol, but I'd like to see a role reversal. I'd like to see Shopify with the plasma pistol and maybe LVT with the overshield instead. It's almost like LVT is conceding overshield and they're just falling on plan A as a grab the plasma pistol. That's plan B.
Yeah, especially when Cykul gets back-to-back dodging of those plasma pistols. But Shopify Rebellion go 4 down. LVT should get the lead back right here, but I want to see them build on it. They should get to it like maybe a +10. Let's break that 50-point mark, that halfway mark.
You get this round, start to instill some confidence, maybe even a little bit of doubt on the side of Shopify Rebellion. Pressure coming on, and interesting, the ball gets reset from LVT despite having numbers advantage.
It was too early. It was too early. They needed to hit 50. They needed to extend their lead. I don't understand. LVT, they're not really a team that you know for playing it safe, and that seemed too safe.
I agree. There was nobody even sprinting up the stairs of Snipe Tower. And there was 2 down at the time.
Rayne,
and
stop.
How many unforced errors? It's something that can occur in any game type in game mode, but it really feels like this weekend it's been oddball where it feels like some of these teams are arguably beating themselves.
It's not over yet. Rebellion do take back the lead. They have a 5-point advantage. But like you said, it's one of those mistakes that are starting to cost a 1v1. Rayne versus KingJay. Rayne is going to chase down that objective. Rayne is trying to rotate. KingJay is on the hunt. Should force that reset. And there's a little bit of extra milk. See that Rayne runs to the edge of the map, but KingJay hot pursuit.
You want to win this reset, you get the overshield. Then you push to the oddball. You can still win this if you're able to win OS.
Oh my God!
Winning the snipe as well. Oh my God! Pop off with a double no-scope headshot. Rayne now has the overshield to deal with. He goes down to low shields. It's a 2v2 momentarily. LVT with a slight edge here, and the oddball in their hands. Only 45 seconds to go.
That's the KingJay that we know. That's the kind of plays that he can put on the board to get his team back into this diagram, trying to run away with those frag grenades, and he did
there, I like that
your
spot.
cue. Get down, get out of the range of that frag. LVT now 10 points down, winning some crucial power-ups. And look at this, he didn't toss the ball until he had to. He waited, he bought a few more seconds.
Fortunately, though, it was 3 seconds before they were able to at least tie it. As 3 go down for
30
LVT.
seconds on the clock.
Last player alive, he gets those spawns on the A side for LVT. I wonder if Shopify, if they're thinking time here, or if they're going to try to grab more oddball. They do, in fact, grab that. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a cheek.
Oh, diagram, let's go!
Oh, they don't get the reset! Oh, RyaNoob, he's gonna go for the cheeky reset. Does he get it? No, he turns left to not reset and throw it off the drink. That's gonna give LVT the time that they need to come back.
And now the question, LVT, they're 4 seconds down. Sam tosses the ball off to a teammate.
They might get the cheeky reset.
But now do they play for time, or do they keep climbing towards that 100-point mark? Right now they're extending on that lead. They drop the ball. They're playing for a round of slays. They throw it off the map.
Cheeky reset.
Rebellion are going to try to break through. They have 8 seconds to get there.
Gatekeeper. RyaNoob goes into the bait, drops for the bait. Cykul will too, almost like a CTF desperation.
Oh!
Sab starts to land some shots, starts to earn some confidence, and we start to see that energy that we saw previously from LVT. They just needed an energy drink, I guess.
Sab got the double kill at the end of the game. 1 kill with the heat wave, 1 kill with the snipe, shutting down Rebellion as they desperate for that ball. Watch right here. Here comes Cykul. Sam took down Mental, and the next.
He was the last player alive. That won the round. That keeps LVT alive in this series. I actually didn't know that was so consequential at the end there. And Sab, in a deja vu moment, this isn't a replay. This is the next round.
I thought it was a replay.
This is a replay right here?
No, I thought
okay.
it was.
Okay.
I thought it was a replay.
Woo! I got to catch my breath. That was an incredible end sequence. And a topsy-turvy scenario. We talked about how LVT might do this to do that, but instead Shopify does that earlier. There we saw Shopify, with a chance to reset, but it's LVT who gets the cheeky reset. This one is tied, but Shopify gets the early edge in round 3.
I want the Sab POV of that clutch end of the round play, but there's no time to celebrate, highlight real level moments. LVT still need to do it again. Shopify Rebellion once again for the first time onto that objective. Piggy does find a kill, the rush comes through, trading out of those kills.
Stagger deaths here for LVT. The best thing they can do is spawn wherever they do, it's going to be back A, and wait to collectively push out together. Mental with that nest control. It's a pretty good lockdown location here, and they do just that. LVT waits to get all 4 up. Sab gets that opening break kill. Piggy collects another, as Sab collects the oddball for some more time.
Keeping an eye out to see how this next round of slays transpires, because it could be LVT with the lead back on their side. Mental taking that 1v1 on KingJay with a repulsor to send back the frag, and a little bit of a distraction as 2 teammates from Rebellion approach from sandbags. KingJay ends up getting traded out, a kill for a kill. Rayne finds the double kill. 4 go down for LVT. Mental, last player alive along with Rayne. Rebellion win the break.
Trade win condition there for RyaNoob as he earns the trade to earn all 4 down for LVT. Looks like it's going to be a free overshield for the most part. Great protection. Who is this? Cykul, of course. Cykul pushes up on that C platform to allow Shopify to grab that overshield, but not before going down and dropping Heatwave with it.
Oh, Rayne doesn't connect to the first melee. The second will shut down Diagram. 20-point lead here for Rebellion and a quick round start as far as objective is concerned. We were watching the clock in that last round. This one doesn't look like the clock will be a factor at all.
Yeah, these teams are now on fire in terms of ball time. Looks like this will definitely go to the 100s. Still 4 minutes on the clock. Already 60 seconds acquired for Shopify. We saw a good start for them, and they've continued on with the 40-second lead.
Oh, Diagram barely misses on that plasma grenade. It looks so clean. KingJay does find the kill onto Cykul. Diagram trying to rotate maybe to back of green, but he doesn't make it far enough. He drops that ball just below the bridge. Mental's going to pick it up there and then rotate back of tower. It's Sab, though, with the sniper again. We saw he clutched up at the last round, but he's not able to do it here.
Yeah, and his support Piggy, you saw him coming in hot to potentially keep Sab alive, keep that sniper in possession of LVT, but Sab and Piggy both go down. Cykul, because of the numbers advantage, he can really pick and choose his spots there. You saw him reshield, reposition, take his time, and he's all the way on the opposite side of the map. Again, that's bait. The focus should be on this tower side of C where the oddball lies. Cykul doing enough to pull attention away from the garage door. That's a great play there from the young gun.
Oh, Piggy doesn't connect on the melee. In fact, 3 go down for LVT. Diagram, as last alive, has to double back. He's going to slide over to Turbine. It's a little bit too early, and now only 8 seconds left. Shopify Rebellion, 5 more seconds. They're locking away this series. Here's the last approach. Anyone in range? No, it's going to be too little, too late. LVT coming away with 1 round of oddball and not much more to show for it in this series.
Yeah, that's tough, and again, it felt like Shopify was a team of destiny after they won that reset game 2, right? Like ties happen so rarely. I feel like the team that comes out and wins after the tie is in a heavy favorite position to win the series. And here we have Shopify winning 3-0. But as you can see, these games were so freaking close. 1-0 King of the Hill on recharge. 50-42 sure on Slayer. But that was after the 50-50 tie that we saw. And then 2-1 live fire oddball. So for me, LVT Halo needs to find the in-between. They got the highest of the highs beating SSG. Probably the first open bracket team to do that in pool play. Then you have the lows of the lows, losing in winners round 1. But winning against SSG is what earned you a chance to keep fighting. Now you've lost the token. Now you've lost in the winners bracket side. Now you go to lower and still have a chance, still have breath of life.